What up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk. The channel will discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So on today's episode, I'm going to discuss the issue with Kamala Harris becoming president. So admin notes, thanks again to all subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out. Give you leverage to better yourselves. So it's my second video today. I'm trying to push it out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get y'all some content that's worthy of being watched, and I think this is something that we definitely need to discuss and something we need to think about, because as we all know, yesterday, today is July 22nd of 2022, and President Joe Biden announced that he was not going to run for president anymore. He stepped down from the running. Shortly after, Kamala Harris put her bid in as far as like running for president, and up to this point now, she's had a couple endorsements, has raised some millions of dollars. I think I forget what dollar amount it was, but she's raised a lot of money within the last 24 hours to, I think, 40 hours. You know, as far as her putting her bid in for president. But in this video, I'm going to discuss some reasons why she probably will not become president. And then I'm going to discuss some reasons why it's going to be somewhat of an issue if she does become president. So let's get into it. So the issue with Kamala Harris becoming president. So like I said, I'm going to speak out a couple of points as far as some of the reasons why she probably would not become president. So one of the reasons is she has not been in the limelight, I think, enough in the 4 years of her being vice president for her to have a footing as far as over other candidates that would be a viable selection or solution for being president in the Democratic Party, because I think she's kind of like acted somewhat of a silent partner to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is I haven't seen her out in the forefront a lot as far as being a vice president. Now, there has been some vice presidents in the past where they have definitely been out in the limelight, not necessarily as much as the actual president themselves, but you definitely know who the vice president is because they've been out there and doing a lot of things. And I have not seen Kamala do this. Now, I'm not saying she hasn't. She may have done a lot of things behind the scenes. She may have been, gone to, a lot of countries and done a lot of things behind the scenes, but I haven't seen her out in the forefront. And I definitely believe that when you run for president, you have to have some type of presence in the political realm. You have to have somewhat of a presence with the American people, because not only are you trying to get votes from people that actually do follow politics, you're trying to get votes from people that don't follow politics, right? So you're trying to hit things from both angles, and if you don't do that, then it might not be a good look for you. Now, have we seen a person that was not in politics or had like a very small presence in politics to win president? Yes, we have. Donald Trump, because he was not in politics before he actually started running for president. But he was somewhat of a celebrity. When you hit it with the name Donald Trump, everybody knew who he was. Before he had his TV show, his other thing. Even before the internet, you knew who Donald Trump was. If you not necessarily to follow money, but if you just follow media in general. Before the internet was hot, before social media, Donald Trump was still a name that resonated. Folks knew who this person was, right? So that popularity on top of him actually going into politics actually will help him become president. Kamala Harris, not so much. You didn't really hear too much about her before she became vice president, right? So that's my first point. Second point is I do not believe there's going to be a lot of women that's going to vote for her based on her being a woman. And what I mean by that is that I do believe there's going to be a lot of women voters out there that are not going to have confidence in a woman being president. A black woman too, right? And there's nothing against her being black or anything like that. I'm just saying, when it comes to female voters, I think there's going to be a lot of women out there that are not going to trust a woman to be able to take the pressures of being the president. Because if you are a woman, you understand that you are an emotional being, right? So there are a lot of things that's going to happen during the presidency where you're going to have to be, you have to have a calm head. You're going to have to be able to navigate things without using a whole lot of emotion, those are the things. And I don't think a lot of women are going to have faith in a woman being president because of those factors. Yeah, I really believe there's going to be a lot of women that's not going to vote for her just based off of just of that. And you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of women up here, probably black women, that's going to say, oh, she got my vote because she's a black woman. You know, I definitely believe in, you know, black women excelling all those other things. And I mean, do what you do. I don't have no footing as far as like, what vote you're going to cast. I don't know. I'm not going to try to influence it either. But would I say that you're going to be somewhat of a minority when it comes to you voting for her? I believe so. I don't think you're going to be the majority. I really don't. Who knows? I could be wrong, but on the outside looking in and looking at how women voters vote to a certain degree for its demographics, it's gonna be a long road for her to try to win the female vote. I'm talking about any female. It doesn't matter what ethnic group she is, whether it be black, white, Hispanic. I do believe that's gonna be a hard vote for her to sell. My third point, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be my last, was for the reason why she probably won't become president is because of what she did in California as a lawyer. So you can look it up if you want to, do your own research, but I have done some research on it, and she was a lawyer that prosecuted a lot of black men based off of crimes that they may have committed or may not have committed. From what I read, she put a lot of black men in jail that had small marijuana charges, trumped up charges. There was a song from Plies years ago when I was deployed back in 2007. This is when Plies was like one of the hottest Southern rappers out there, and he had this song called 100 Years. And I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to sing the chorus because the chorus is actually pretty vulgar, right? But look it up, and he's talking about how judges and how prosecutors would give black men like these abhorrent sentences, like, you know, years years on crimes that was not worthy of those type of numbers, right? And from what my research was, she was giving these black men like these trumped up numbers, no pun intended, right? On these charges, right? And some of these folks was actually like totally innocent. And if you do enough research, you're going to find out that a lot of these men actually proved their innocence years later and are actually suing the state for them being prosecuted unlawfully, because there was evidence that was presented later on during their sentencing that was blocked. Now, whether Kamala blocked it, I'm not exactly sure, right? But there is evidence there's actual evidence that would prove them innocent being blocked to keep these guys in jail, right? So if you're a black man, I'm not sure if your vote should be valid towards her, because I mean the the proof is in the pudding. And when you do the research, you're going to see that, you know, she prosecuted a lot of black men that were innocent, right? Or she prosecuted black men and had charges that were actually, like, you know, they gave them sentences that were not worthy of what they did, right? So, you know, you couple all those things, and I think a lot of those factors are going to be some factors that will prevent her from being president. Now, let's go into some of the reasons why I believe that it's going to be an issue if she becomes president. I do not believe that America as a whole is ready for a woman president, right? Especially a black woman president. You know, going back to when former President Obama was president, was America ready for a black male president? Who knows, right? But you know, at the time, I think that the way he articulated himself and his presence, I think really won him that election. And I think that just his presence and his persona is what really sealed the deal for him. When it comes to Kamala Harris, I don't think she has that kind of persona. I don't think she has that kind of personality and that persona that makes people gravitate to her for leadership. I just don't see that, right? So to be a president, you have to be seen as a strong leader, and I don't see her being able to put that persona out there. I just don't see that. Another reason is, and I don't want to get really deep in the woods when it comes to this, as far as like you know, her having you know, the respect of being president, but I think if she goes to some of these other countries and actually try to negotiate deals, to be able to talk to these other leaders of these other countries. I do not think that some of these leaders are going to take her seriously just because she's a woman. There are a lot of countries out there that do not believe in women being in high-level places of leadership, and being the president of the United States, being a woman, that is like one of the if not the top tier leadership role in the world, right? So I do believe that these leaders will more than likely respect her position as president, but when it comes to her negotiating deals and actually talking to these men, it's going to be a long road to hoe. It really is, because I like I said, I do believe that there's going to be a lot of countries that have leaders that are ran by men that are not going to take her seriously because she's a woman. And don't shoot the messenger. That I'm just saying what's facts, right? There's going to be some countries out there that's not going to respect that. They're just not, right? Now, you know, there's always a first time for everything, and I'm pretty sure that if she becomes president, as the world turns and as things go along, then folks are going to have to start getting used to it, because it is what it is. She became president. It is what it is, right? But I think starting off is going to be a really, really, really tough road for her, right? So my position is I'm going to vote for who is best for my family and who's best for the country. Right, so I don't know if it's going to be Kamala Harris. I don't know if it's going to be another person that's going to be running against her to get that Democratic nominee for them to be president. I'm not sure it's going to be either him or her. I'm not sure it's going to be Trump. I don't know, right? But what I will say is that those reasons as far as why I'm saying that she might not win the presidency, and if she win the presidency, is it going to be a long road for her in the presidency? I think those things are pretty valid. But I want you to drop some things I want you to drop your reasons in the comments and your views in the comments, and let me know what you think, because this is where we at. We're here, right? President Biden has stopped pursuing his role as being president, right, for a second term, and we have Kamala Harris that could be the president before the election happens, right? So we'll see what happens. But I cannot thank you guys enough for subscribing and liking the videos and commenting on the videos. I really appreciate it. And this channel just has really blessed me, right? And it's really I hope it has blessed you guys too. And I endeavor to keep pushing the video out. Leave it lavish. Do better yourselves. Final Finishing 4. Triple F. I'm gone.